Marketers right here in our region have a new tool that helps to drive decision making. It's called mental modeling technology, developed by a local company called Decision Partners Cognitive Science Systems. MARC USA is now making it available to clients across the country. Karen Leitze is MARC USA's Research and Strategy Director. Jerry Thompson is Executive Vice President and Public Relations Director for MARC. Welcome. Good to have you both here.
Thank you.
So mental modeling technology, I guess we got to start with a definition. What is it exactly?
Well, mental models you might think of as being tacit webs of beliefs that we all have in our minds, and they're made up of fragments of knowledge, past experiences, feelings, images, and these mental models are affecting the way that we react to situations, in particular affect how we make decisions. Okay. And mental modeling technology is a research technique that's designed to help us to really understand the mental models that do exist in regard to a particular type of decision and map it out, and then we can develop communication programs that we can implement in order to help people to make decisions that are going to be more satisfying for them, as well as that are going to benefit our client brands.
Is this a newer, more powerful way of doing this than sort of the menu of tools in the arsenal, arrows in the quiver you already have?
Well, there are other more traditional tools that are used for research to do what we do, which is design communications programs and marketing programs. Polling and surveys and focus groups.
They've all gotten a bad name now, so hopefully we've got something better.
Yeah. Well, a lot of what mental models is based on, research at CMU over the past half century is about risk perception and how that affects the decisions that we make. And if you think about today's world, a lot of uncertainty, people call this the time of disruption. So risk is a big part of what's going on, and also if you think about the decisions we make every day, a lot of them are in fact about risk perception. We're trying to maximize the benefit we get from a behavior choice or a transaction and minimize the risk that we'll make a mistake or get embarrassed or waste our money. So the things that differentiate mental modeling from those other more traditional methodologies, one, it's how you gather the data. They're in-depth interviews, 60 to 90 minutes. They're designed using a patented process that's grounded in the research. Two, how we analyze that data. We use cloud-based software that we license with our partner. And three, how we visualize that. So a mental model actually does look like a model, and I can show you what one looks like.
A little hard to read on screen there, but
we're not going to explore this, but this is a model of how a decision gets made to buy cosmetic surgery, or to have cosmetic surgery. So
and when you do that, you find out a lot of what's driving decisions is kind of below the surface, more so than other techniques?
There are actually insights that come out of these interviews, and you don't really have to do that many. Somewhere between 30 and 60 interviews, the patterns within the community that you're trying to investigate or study, those patterns start to emerge. So the perceptions of risk and the other factors that drive these judgments and decisions, they become apparent, and then we can act on them.
Wow. Well, it's a real-world example. You all are already rolling this out to clients, and so how does it work in the real world?
Well, one example is we recently used this technology for a hospital system, not in this region, but they were interested in trying to optimize their communication with patients and their communication across every touch point that they have, whether that's in their website, their phone center, their physician offices. And they wanted to understand better what is the experience that people are having with the hospital and how are they interpreting it and how are they feeling about it. So the way we started the process was to interview, using these proprietary techniques, the administrators and the people on the front lines who are actually communicating with patients, and we created what we called the expert model, which is their internal view, essentially their assumptions about how communication is happening, what patients really want, what information they need, and how they're accessing it. And then we interviewed patient groups. So we talked to new moms who had used the maternity service. We talked to cancer patients. We talked to ER patients. And we interviewed them, and we understood better their perception of how they were interacting, the information that they really wanted at different points of their decision-making process, and probably most importantly, the emotional component of that, how they were feeling at different parts of the process. And through that, when we overlay the patient perspective on top of the expert model, then we really can reveal these are the places where potentially the communication could be improved or could be enhanced, or a different touch point could be added that would then optimize that patient's experience.
Mental modeling, really cool. Good to see this kind of science, behavioral science, coming out of our region and being applied all over the place. Karen Leitze, Jerry Thompson from MARC USA. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
See you, Bill.
And when we return, your field guide to business ethics and making the right choices in the real world. Stay with us.